What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and is it just me, or is the Shanquella Robinson case all over the place? And I mean literally all over the place. Don't get me wrong, if you've ever covered a true crime story here on YouTube, or hell, even if you've ever just looked into an active true crime story as events were happening, then you know that you have to sift through your fair share of nonsense, rumors and speculation and information to get down to the real facts of what's going on. And then you take what information that you could find, that you find factual, and you combine it with the information that's been provided by law enforcement or mainstream media outlets covering what law enforcement is saying about where they're at in their investigation. And then you combine those two pieces of information and you could come to a point where you could form a solid opinion about what's going on in an active true crime case and where you're at within that true crime case. You know, where that case is at and where that case is headed. But it's one thing when you're trying to sift through rumors and speculation, and it's another thing when you're trying to sift through mainstream media outlets telling totally different stories. Don't get me wrong. I don't trust the mainstream media at all. We all know that the mainstream media is basically just political propaganda on both sides. We know how dirty and ugly they get when it comes to certain information they provide, especially in the political sphere. But when it comes to true crime cases, I know that like mass shootings and stuff, there's always a political slant when it comes to the mainstream media covering those. But when it comes to true crime cases like the one that's happening with Shanquella, like the Gabby Petito case, like the Idaho 4 case that's happening right now, you should be able to at least rely on the mainstream media to all across the board provide factual information and to have the story straight. Yet, with the Shanquella Robinson case, we're not getting that. And listen, I don't play the identity politics game. I think that card is played way too often these days. But there's no denying that the Shanquella Robinson story is not getting the same love as these other stories. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people know about the story. A lot of people are pushing the conversation online. But when it comes to like the Idaho 4 story, for example, I see factual updates coming constantly every day. And the information is basically the same all the way across the board. When it comes to the Shanquella Robinson case, we have mainstream media outlets reporting totally different stories. And I don't think it's because they have their facts wrong. I think it's because they aren't showing the case the same amount of love and care. So the other day I reported to you all that an arrest has been made. That Daejhanae Jackson was arrested in the Shanquella Robinson case. And we had this journalist from Mexico who we've had to rely on for a lot of our information because this case happened in Mexico. A lot of people seem to forget that. This situation happened in Mexico. So we're relying on this journalist for a lot of our information. And I don't see anything about him that I would find untrustworthy. I don't know the guy. I have no reason not to trust him. But he was reporting that Daejhanae was arrested. Then we have other media outlets. We have Yahoo News reporting that an arrest has been made, that Daejhanae Jackson has been arrested in connection to the death of Shanquella Robinson. Yet we have the New York Post, Washington Post, other media outlets telling a totally different story, having interviews with the parents who are telling a totally different story. The New York Post just released this article. Mom of slain tourist Shanquella Robinson blasts FBI for the lack of progress. I'm just trying to wait for somebody to be arrested. The FBI is not telling me anything. This article just came out last night, days after the information about Dejanay being arrested came out. So if Dejanay has been arrested, apparently the parents know nothing about it. So that's why I say it. Keeping up with this case, it is all over the place. The mainstream media can't even get their facts straight. No one has the story straight, apparently. So I'm just confused right now as to what's going on. Because I thought that arrest has already been made, yet the mother is stating right here to the New York Post that she is waiting for somebody to be arrested. And that the FBI isn't providing her with much information. So I see that and I'm like, oh, wait, what? Because, all right, this case has a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors spreading around about this case. So when the news dropped that Dejanay was arrested, I sat back and I ciphered through the nonsense and came to what I found was what I thought to be factual information reported from this journalist in Mexico, reported by another media outlet, and reported by Yahoo News. Now we have this other media outlet telling a different story, but there was always rumors about there was an arrest made. There was rumors about an arrest being made for days before Yahoo or this journalist reported that arrest was made. So it was like you had to cipher through those rumors, and then finally when you get to a point where you feel like the real arrest has been made, now it's like, wait, was that arrest even real? What is going on? It is like mind-boggling. So once the Yahoo and all of these outlets picked up the story that this arrest has been made, a lot of people were saying no arrest has been made, no arrest has been made. And that started looking like a bunch of rumors as well, because we hear stories about Dejanay being somewhere on the run in Texas. We hear stories about her being here and there, everywhere. So it seems like a bunch of rumors that no arrest has been made because we have these mainstream media outlets reporting that an arrest has been made. But now we have Shanquella's own family talking to other media outlets saying that no arrest has been made. And literally, Shanquella's mother just talked to the Washington Post yesterday and said that they're on the run. Her exact quote is, "They're on the run." So, I have no clue what's going on. You know, and I can confidently say that. That's one thing I can confidently say. That is factual, 100% factual information. I have no clue as to what the hell is going on here right now. We have half of these media outlets reporting an arrest has been made. We have a journalist that we know is close to this case reporting that an arrest has been made. He's gone on live streams. He's doubled down on the fact that an arrest has been made. Not just that, he's saying other information as well. He's saying that there's people within the Cabo Six, there's 2 of them, who are cooperating and talking to law enforcement. He's providing all types of information. I don't get the sense that he's just lying. I can spot liars usually, I mean, not all the time. I don't get the sense that he's lying. But I do think he could just be totally wrong. I think his information could just be wrong. Any information out here could just be wrong. Who knows at this point? Now, would an arrest have been made and they wouldn't, you know, I feel like if an arrest was made, they would have told the parents, for one. And for 2, I feel like there would have been an official report. Like, we've seen the mainstream media, we've seen some mainstream media outlets report that an arrest was made, but we haven't heard from law enforcement. Like, the FBI hasn't released a statement. The police department in North Carolina, they haven't released a statement. So we haven't seen a statement from law enforcement. So I find that odd as well. So at this point, I simply do not know what to believe. And I can't steer you in either direction. I think it's best to just shoot it straight down the middle right now, because I don't want to lean too heavily to one side or the other and give you all the impression that this is what's factually going on and this is what's factually going on, when we've already kind of been duped in a way. I feel like in a way we've been tricked into thinking one thing has happened, even though maybe it didn't happen. But then again, if it did happen, then we weren't duped. These people just had access to information that other people didn't have access to. Like I said, it's just total chaos. It is total chaos trying to figure out what's going on in this case. And it shouldn't be this way. And I feel like it wouldn't be this way if the same amount of love and attention and care was shown to this story as opposed to other stories. Because we shouldn't be at this point where we're kind of debating over, which media outlet are we going to believe about this woman's death? That's where we're at. Make no mistake about it. That's where we're at in the Shanquella Robinson story right now. That's the best way that I can personally explain it. Maybe someone else can explain it differently. We're at the point right now where we're all just debating, do we believe this media outlet or this media outlet? Are we going to believe what this person said on their live stream or what this person said on their live stream? And like I said, if it was just rumors and speculation, that's one thing. We wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. But when you have official reports coming out from mainstream media about arrests being made, and then you hear the family talking to the mainstream media, other mainstream outlets saying that, oh, they're on the run, no arrest has been made, then you just at a point where you're trying to figure out, like, okay, let's just figure out what outlet do we choose to believe. And I choose to believe no one until the facts are in front of our face. I need to see photographic evidence. I need to see a mugshot. At this point, I need to see a mugshot. I need to see photographic evidence or video evidence or something, because I'm not going to listen to what any media outlet posts until I see some photographic evidence. But let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. Surely you all probably have some feelings about this. What side are you on? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and let's just try not to go insane trying to figure out what's happening with this case today.